I'm Hayden Phillips, and I'm standing in front of the 2006 Holden Caprice. Now this one's in silver, and it highlights all the bold curves and lines that Holden have designed it with. Now you might notice that this thing looks familiar, and that's because it does. And that's because this thing shares a lot of its styling with the well-known VE Commodore. You're probably asking yourself why I'm wearing a suit, and I'll answer that later in the video. So let's get on to business. Pun intended. So this is the Commodore's bigger, sophisticated brother. Now this means that you get the business up top and not so much down the bottom, as you can see from the way I'm dressed. So this thing costs $67,000 when new. So you're probably asking yourself, why would anyone buy one? So now that we're in the back seat here, I can explain why these things are so popular. These have either had a Prime Minister in the back seat, or some drunk occupants after a big night out who have called up a taxi. And if you're really unlucky, both. So this thing shares a lot with its messier little sibling, the VE Commodore, including the 3.6 litre V6. The other thing it shares is the suspension, meaning this thing can feel like a smaller car than it really is. Now don't get me wrong, this thing is ginormous, measuring it at over 5 metres. This thing is nearly the size of some 7-seat SUVs. Now this brings me to boot space. You could nearly fit a Holden Barina in this bad boy. Now in the back seat here we've got plenty of room, and we also have a DVD player. So this will impress even the most picky Prime Minister. Now we've also got very conveniently placed climate controls up here and DVD player controls. So this controls all your climate, how cold or hot you want it, and these are your ones for your DVD player. So this really does give a bit of a personal touch back here. You can control things exactly how you want them, and you know, being someone important in the back of one of these, that's exactly what you want. Now it appears that the Capri has been designed with the passenger's interest in mind. But what about the driver? Now up the front here we have very comfortable power adjustable leather seats, a nice big dashboard, and conveniently enough this one has actually had the Series 2 IQ conversion, allowing this thing to have Bluetooth, sat-nav, and the inbuilt amplifier, allowing the speakers to pump even harder than they would before. Now the sound system is something that's really important to me, and luckily the Capri does not disappoint. So on the road, the Capri feels exactly how it looks, like a cloud. You know, this thing just rides along super comfortable. You don't feel any bumps at all. But thanks to the little genetics from the VE Commodore, this thing also corners really well. That's something that you really find hard to get a mix of. So this thing is comparable to a Volvo S80 or even a BMW 7 Series. The only difference is some of the interior materials are a little bit less refined because it's been designed and built in Australia. So this thing still drives like a big luxurious business car, but it also has the feel of something a little bit more. So unlike a big BMW 7 Series or a Volvo S80, the fuel economy in this is actually quite appropriate, with it averaging 12 litres 100 k's. This means you can go a long way on a little bit of fuel, which really does help the back pocket, especially if you're a businessman. So visibility is something that really is an issue in the VE NWM models. This massive A-pillar here really does make it a problem for when you're going around corners or even at a roundabout. It just blocks out a lot of the view and can sometimes even block out an entire car. So, if you're a Prime Minister, a taxi driver, or an old person looking for a reliable, good-looking car, the Holden Capri is for you.